Hi and welcome to this video. Here in this lesson, I am going to show you how to create these beautiful artworks which formed into a story, by the way, which I will show you at the end. So if you look at it like a journal format, it just goes on to reveal a story and you will get to know the story at the end of the video. In this video, I'll show you how I gather all my scraps, put it together in the format of a snippet roll, cut it out and create these gorgeous artworks and I've just embellished them with a little bit of butterfly and a few words that formed into the story at the end, by the way. So let's begin. So here is the first layer of the snippet roll that I have created. It's a 5 feet long. So let's have a look at it. This is just by gluing the scrap pieces of papers that I have had. And I will show you that in a while. Let me first show you what I have done here. This is just the first layer. I have basically glued few pieces of book pages, old book pages, one after another, and created this long pattern. And then I have added these scraps on top of this. Okay, so this is how it goes. These are scraps from so many multiple different types of projects that I've done in the past. This one I remember, it's from the Seascape class that I did, 30 days of Seascape. This was a collage paper I created over there. This is the inky book page. These are some mark making on daily paper, some printouts, just background pages, so many scraps that are there. So this is a 5 feet long one, and you see the whole thing now. And I've done glued it using a glue stick, so it's not very strong. As you can see, some pieces are coming off, but I'm going to do one more layer on top of this, and that is where I thought I will take you along on the journey. Okay, and let me show you my scraps. So this is a box full of small scraps. So all of these small scraps, I'm just gonna put it together. They've been lying on my table ever since I was working on this project. So I like to take out this stuff, spread it out on the table so that I can see which piece to pick up from. This is a little bit of fabric which I'm gonna add on this one. So these are the small oh, here is a sticker. Maybe I can put it on somewhere. Okay, so I'll keep it here. These are the small pieces of scraps that I've been holding, and these are a few bigger pieces which I keep on this box, which are like a little bigger pieces of things. So I have two sizes. So this one goes over there. Too much scraps. All right, so next I kept these two things on the side in front of me so that I can work on them. Okay, now I'm going to start working on them and add a second layer on top of this. This has multiple layers, by the way. This is not just one piece of scraps. As you can see, this daily paper went over all the pages. So there are multiple layers over this. It's not just one layer. But still, you can see that, the joinings are not kind of like visible, right? So all the pieces you can see separately. So all I'm going to do here is my scrap of fabrics, and I'm going to take out some fabrics and add a layer, a little bit covering them up. Maybe I would use my gauze. Here is my gauze, so that it won't cover as much, but it will just cover a little bit, and these joinings will be hidden a little bit. Here is another fabric scraps which I'm going to keep here so that I can take it out from here, or maybe I should take it out. This is the same gauze in a coffee dyed, blue, green, some laces maybe. So these are little bigger pieces. Again, like the way I organize my paper scraps, the same way I organize my fabric scraps. This is the bigger pieces, this is the smaller ones. So these are the bigger ones. I'm not going to use a lot with this one. So I'm just keeping a little bit from here, but these are the smaller ones, so it's easier to work with this. Okay, so I'm going to spend some time, take out, look at these fabric scraps and take out a few ones that I think I will work well on this one. So let me take that out and then I'll start working. Okay, so I have taken out a few scraps of fabrics, as you can see here. This is also a lot for just this amount of a snippet roll. Few laces, gauze, mostly gauze, and few other fabrics, and there are few fabrics that I had already stitched on. So I've taken out several pieces, small pieces from this one, and now I will glue. And one more thing that will happen in this layer also is, like I told you, that I have glued this with just a glue stick, so it's not thoroughly glued. So this time when I'm applying the glue, so this is my white glue, it's going to seal the previous layers also properly. All right, so now I'm going to spend some time and see, place things around, see what I like where. There is no formula to this. I have my Caesar here also, and I'm going to, oh, here is a small sticker that I found. Maybe I should put it somewhere here. So as you can see, this is how I am looking at my snippet roll. So this is my top down. But when I'm going to create the artworks, they are going to be in this way. So I'm getting both the perspectives while I am working on this. So here is the snippet roll after I have added the layer of fabrics. So let's have a look at that. And also because of adding the glue, it's all absolutely properly glued together. Nothing is coming off, and the paper has become pretty sturdy as well, which is a good thing. So a little bit of lace I added here, continuation with the flower. See, this area looks a bit messy. I feel I've added too much of scraps here before. So, and that's okay, because you know what, I did this completely mindlessly. I was just adding whatever I felt like picking up, and you know, just added whatever. So here also I feel it's a bit clumsy. It's too many pieces that I've added over before adding the fabric. But that's okay. Here I feel it's kind of light, just the appropriate amount of dark. So some areas are good, some areas I'm not liking much. See, I like this end portion a lot because there is not too much of color. So I feel on this side here, there are too many colors which are like competing with each other, and it's making it a very chaotic thing. But that's okay. I think when I cut it, it's going to get reduced and I can add more on top of this. But yeah, here I feel it's there are not much colors except black, white and brown, which is my favorite. So I probably like this end of the roll quite a lot. It's different shades of brown with black and white. Here the color started, but it's very minimal. It's not too many different types of colors, and too many different types of color values rather competing with each other, compared to this side. Right. Okay. So this is where it is right now. And I think I will take some time and add some more stitches to it. So here are the fabrics that I had already with some stitches which I've added. And before cutting them off and creating my artworks, I am going to add some stitches to it. I'm going to take some time, maybe a day or two, and add as much stitches as I can before creating the artworks out of them. And I don't know if I mentioned, this is like 5 foot long. Exactly 5 foot is what I have done. Okay, here is a look at my snippet roll. I have spent a day and I've added a few stitchings to it. So it's basically the next day, and let's first have a look at all the stitches that I've added. Can you see? It's very simple stitches, nothing fancy. Just went one after another and just kept adding a few stitches here and there. Okay, so here it is, the whole snippet roll. And now I am going to take pieces out from here, and here are my cards, 4x6 cards, and I'll see how I can create the artworks from it. So since I've done this 4-inch wide, because just to fit it here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to look at it, kind of fold it and see how it looks. I'm going to cut it out anyway, and then I will see while collaging if I want to add more stuff to this. All right, so now I'm going to spend some time, go through it, and take out 9 artworks, 9 6 inches from this, and this whole thing is 5 feet. So I just need to take out 6 multiplied by 9, which is 54 inches stuff from this, and the whole thing is 60 inches. So I'll be left with a little bit after I take this out. Also, I need to be mindful of the stitches and not cut the stitches in the middle. So let's see if any stitches come in between. So this is the first one. I quite like it. See, it was looking so chaotic over here on this end, but once you cut it out and make little pieces, they just stop looking so chaotic, which is so cool. So this comes till here. See? Look at this composition. It looks so good. It wasn't planned. Little black here, little black here, some black threads. Really cool. I don't think I like this one a lot. But I like this one. So what I'm going to do is I'll cut out some from the other side and see how that's working. This side is definitely my favorite. I'll probably take a little bit more from the black and cut out a little bit extra here. So these are just some of the decisions that I will be making while cutting. Yeah. This looks so good to me. See, my mind was going into little bit thoughts of how the compositions will turn out while I was working on the snippet roll, but I was continuously telling myself not to think about this step. And we'll see when we get to that stage, which is right now. Because even if something doesn't look great, I can always add more stuff on top of it and make it good. So while doing the snippet roll, my focus was completely on doing the snippet roll and not think about the future. This looks so good. I love this one. And this is just a little bit away from the stitches, which is also good. This is also very much close to the stitches. Really like it. Okay, so this is what we are left with. How many have I got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, just 3 more to go. And this is what I am left with. Okay, not too much. So I was not very keen on cutting the flower into half, so I was kind of trying to look at what sections. So I just need 3 more, so I'll take out 3 cards and see what composition I kind of like. So this definitely looks good. Maybe like this. Yeah, this definitely looks good. Then what about, yeah, this looks good. Okay, and then this I'm not very sure. This I'll see later, but at least these 2 I am sure of. This is the chaotic part that I didn't like much. So from the lace here we are starting 1, so I'm gonna cut this. Okay, without thinking too much. Okay, here is a stitch, so which means I need to just go like this, just next to the stitch. This looks good. I think this bit got a little bit smaller. Just a tiny bit smaller. I'm not going to fret over it. Maybe I can add a little bit more here. And 2 more to go. So maybe somewhat like this. But I really like this stitching also. So I'm thinking what to do. Can I put this along with this? No, I think I will cut one from here. No, I don't really like this much. So I'm gonna take till here and then probably add a little bit here. Yes, that sounds like a good idea. So I'll just take a little bit from here. And oh, this strip I really like a lot. This is so good. Not very sure how I like this, but maybe I can add something more on top of this and finish this off so that it doesn't look disjointed. But yeah, definitely a very good option. This one is done. And I have a little extra here. And one more to take out from here, the last one. This or this, definitely this. I actually like this also, so can I add 2 again? Yes, I feel I can add, but let me just cut out this one first. Okay. No, actually I am starting to like this now. I guess I just don't like this part, this colorful area too much. And I was thinking if I can add something like this, it will look good. Yeah, this definitely looks good. All right, so I've got all my 9 stuff. Now what I'm going to do is spend some time and glue all of this and then come on back here and show you what. So here are the artworks after I have glued them onto the cardboards, and they're not really cardboards, they are like 300 GSM paper. And all I've done is I've trimmed off the edges to match the size, and there were a few excess on the sides, and then I've just inked the edges to give a sense of border. So let's have a look at all of them. I don't even know what is front and what is back. Here I have added just a few more stitches before gluing it. So you see they are starting to look like finished artwork, a collage, but it's too abstract. It's too much messy and abstract. So I was looking at all of them and then I was thinking that I want to add something more to it. So I'm gonna first lay it down on my table and have a look at them. Okay, and here I have taken out a few of these stickers that I had, butterfly stickers. And all I'm going to do is I just feel that it's too much happening over these artworks, and to make them look like finished, all I'm going to do is just add a few of these butterflies as focal points and see how they look. See, I'm trying to see how the colors would look on each of the background. I feel like some of the backgrounds are too busy and the butterflies are not really visible. Like on this one, it's of course there's a bit too much light falling. So yeah, but still it's not that much visible. So I'm thinking, what can I do? I think I have placed on all. And what I can do is maybe I can put a little bit of gesso on the background to make it a little white so that the butterfly will pop. Or I can add some of these white doilies just to set a little bit. Like here is, I feel it's not really much visible. So what if I add something like this? Yeah, see, the moment it appeared on top of the black, white, it started to become more visible. So I'm going to make a few of those decisions and see how I can place them better. Even this one also is not that visible. Right? So I'm going to make those decisions and stick like this one also. It's not visible at all. So yeah. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to stick all these butterflies. And yes, also I was thinking of adding something else. So I have these quotes here. I was thinking of adding a few of the lines so that each of the artwork also gets a meaning. So I'm going to work on them one by one. Let's say, for example, if I take, for example, this one, okay? So what I'm going to do is look at this, see how I feel, match it with the words, or maybe like, take a look at the words that I feel goes with this artwork and the emotion that I'm feeling while I am looking at this artwork, and then put it somewhere along with the butterfly. So I'm gonna take quite some time because this is all about what I'm feeling in this moment while I'm working on this. So I'm gonna do that, spend some time on each of them, but more or less composition wise they are done. I'm just going to do a few tweaks here and there, maybe add a little bit of gesso and all of that, and then add each of these words that I think feels appropriate for this background and for this butterfly. I'm going to look at them for some time, think about it, and then put them on top and finish this artwork. All right, so I'm going to do that and I'll be back. Okay, so here it is after I have done a little bit of addition, little bit of color correction, you could say. But all I have done is just used white gesso and little bit of white acrylic inks for dripping. So let's have a look at each of them one by one. So I've added the butterflies, I've added one of the quotes, and I've added some white. That's all that I have done so far. Okay, so here is the first one. Let me just put them on the side. Trust your crazy ideas. Here I've just added a little bit of gesso on the side here, just to highlight the butterfly. Same thing, added quite a bit of white and kind of looks like that disjointed collage papers from the snippet roll. They look pretty jointed the moment I added a little bit of white to join all of these, and just dripped a little bit over here. Rise and shine. Really like it. So all those crazy colors from the collage papers are so toned down now. And also it's easy to look at because I have a focal point. I can look at it, I can read something, so I can like take one artwork and stay with it for some time now. Start doing things you love. On this one I have just highlighted some of the textures here and kind of like made it all white on the background where I have placed the butterfly. Believe in yourself. And yes, I've made few marks with a brush, same white. I was doing mostly splatters, but in this one, instead of splatters, I thought I will do some brush marks. Here also, the center part made it all white, highlighted some of the textures, dripped, put the butterfly with brave wings, she flies. By the way, all of these quotes or the words that I have put here, They are all basically, I'm talking to myself. So these are all the things that I want to hear, that I put it on the paintings or on the artworks while I was creating. And if it applies to somebody else, that's a bonus. So here I have this one. I just added a doily here, so it became quite white because I had the white lace here, and then put the butterfly in the middle. You are capable of becoming more than you realize, and did some splatters here, I think. You see, looking at this, not with anything else in the background. Can you see? I know these are kind of distracting. Let me put them on the side. But if you just look at this artwork just on its own, you see there is so much of depth and content and material in it. If you look at them, there's so much to look at. There's stitches here, laces, gauze, so much of messy marks in the background. It's just beautiful to look at. Okay, and I think we're done with these ones. And here also I've just blended these papers and just added some splatters. And remember, this was the joining of the two snippet rolls pieces. So I added the words in the center, joining those two pieces. Here also I added a little bit of white on the background to lighten it, and then put the butterfly. And so the adventure begins. Here I really loved putting this strip here and some white on this background, a little bit, not too much. Highlighted the textures. Butterfly exists to be happy, not to impress. I really like this one. This has all vertical composition. If you notice the composition, see, I was not really paying attention to composition when I was doing the snippet roll, and when I cut it out, it's how it became, right? But after doing all of it, and when I'm looking at the final artwork, I can see everything has its own composition. That's why, when I'm putting the words, I put it in the way that was pleasing for the composition. So this one has a kind of vertical composition. If you see this one, it has kind of like horizontal two divisions. So everything got some sort of composition on its own that just happened. And especially while adding the words, I was kind of keeping that in mind, the composition part. This does not have as such a composition. It's kind of like organic, but it still has that 1/3 marks a little bit, if you see, and contrasts on just 3 areas. So I was kind of doing it intuitively. I was not too focused on those design elements, but then they just came out fine, and I'm really happy with how they turned out. See here also, if you see, kind of like 1, 2, 3, there are 3 divisions here. This one has kind of like a vertical division, and the butterfly is kind of connecting these two shapes. This one has kind of clear horizontal divisions, right? So, oh, by the way, when I was doing it, like, all the words I've written, I was looking at it and I was thinking, wow, they can form a story. And I was actually towards the end, when I was doing the 8th or the 9th one, I was kind of feeling the story when I was like putting each of the butterflies and the words. So let me just, arrange it and show you how the story is forming. Okay, so I have arranged it in the way the story unfolds, right? So we can look at it in the form of a journal. So I'm just going to put one after another like this and reveal the story to you. Oh, by the way, while forming the story, I realized that I haven't shown one. It was lying a little far away. So there was one more, take risks. And here it is, kind of like horizontal composition. All right. Okay, so let's look at the story, okay? And so the adventure begins. Start doing things you love. You are capable of becoming more than you realize. Trust your crazy ideas. Exist to be happy and not to impress. Take risks. Believe in yourself, rise and shine, with brave wings she flies. You see how it just formed into a story. None of this was planned while I was working it. The story just emerged while I was working on it, and I feel this can be such a powerful journal to look at or flip through, right? So that's it. I hope you enjoyed this journey of my group 4 of the 100 days of collages. So this was group 4, 9 days. I think this is day 28 to day 36 of the 100-day project, and I'm really happy with how this turned out. So let me know if you liked it, if you got some ideas from this. You see how easy it is to put all the things, scraps together in the form of a snippet roll, then create artworks out of it. So let me know how it was, if it was inspiring, if you got some new ideas, and if you did this, I would love to see what you did. Thank you for joining me in this video, and see you in the next one.